This episode of the Retro Gamer Show is proudly sponsored by the Norbreck Castle Hotel, Blackpool. The Norbreck Castle Hotel is a fun and vibrant environment, especially at weekends and during holiday periods. The stunning castle-like hotel offers a warm welcome to the famous seaside resort of Blackpool. It's conveniently located close to Blackpool's major attractions and entertainment. The hotel boasts 480 modern bedrooms and overlooks the seafront on the North Shore. Many of the bedrooms offer a sea view and a comfortable and relaxing stay. All tastefully decorated and feature an ensuite and other facilities.
Hello and welcome back to the Retro Gamer Show.
Now, after all these years on YouTube, it's great to finally have a sponsor.
It really is, and here's what's coming up on today's show. James gives us a lowdown on everything that went on at this year's Play Expo Blackpool. We have a track from the Gaming Muso, who did a brilliant set at this year's event. James checks out the Brawler64, the new N64 gamepad from Retro Fighters. We have our usual roundup of this month's retro gaming events in What's On, and so much more retro gaming goodness that we can't believe we managed to fit it all into one episode of the Retro Gamer Show. So yes, this show's a bit of a Play Expo Blackpool Special, and you went along again this year, James, and how did you find it?
I certainly did. It was fantastic. Met loads of great people and played loads of great games. For those of you who didn't get to go, here's my show report. Once again, this year's Play Expo Blackpool was held at the lovely Norbreck Castle Hotel. As usual, as we always expect at these play events, you're going to find loads of arcade machines. And everyone, including myself, was having a great time. And if, like me, you loved Halo on the Xbox, this was the ultimate setup. As usual, there were loads of pinball machines. It was great to see the Gaming Muso doing a live set. Hardcore collector Quang from Asobitech had his massive collection on display of all sorts of consoles and computers from yesteryear. And for those who wanted a break from retro gaming, the LAN gaming area was very popular. And no play event will ever be complete without the Traders Hall. A question on everyone's lips was who would want to buy this. Later we found out someone did buy this. It was the Grumpy Retro Gamers. They've done a video on it. Do check it out. This year there was a great selection of talks. I especially enjoyed the Retro Unlim panel with loads of our favourite YouTubers and hosted by the famous Big Boy Barry. All this added up to make one of the best Play Expo events this year.
So there you go, Play Expo Blackpool this year. It looked to be a great event, looked like you had a great time, and so did everybody else. And I know one of your highlights of the event was a guy called the Gaming Muso.
Yeah, James was there rocking the house, playing his tunes, and here's a clip of James in action. Wow, what'd you make of that then?
Well, yeah, that was actually amazing. I've never really heard of the Gaming Muso before myself, so to see that's something that's right up my street. And I definitely think I'm going to check him out and find out a bit more about him. So where can I find that, James? You know?
Yeah, he's got his own YouTube channel. We'll leave a link in the description so you can easily find the Gaming Muso there. Now, when I was at Play Expo Blackpool, wandering around the traders hall looking for stuff to buy, I came across this item. Now, I'm going to show you it now. I was stood there for a few minutes staring at this item thinking there's something not quite right, and it was probably because I'd probably had a few too many baby shams the night before. But anyway, I'm going to show you this picture now, see if you can spot there's something a bit weird about it.
Right, so
we'll put this on screen so you can see.
It's looks like a Game Genie Mega Drive programming manual and code book. What says down the bottom.
You know what a Game Genie is, don't you?
Yeah, I know what Game Genie is. Yeah. Putting your codes and cheat codes in and stuff on the old Mega Drive.
So there's something just not right with it. No.
No, it looks right to me. No, I haven't got a clue.
Okay. Well, if you guys know what's blatantly wrong with this picture, then leave us a comment.
Yeah, let me know. I'd like to know. Can't see what you're on about. Anyway, moving on, swiftly moving on, shall we say. Did you actually buy anything while you were there in the dealers hall? I
certainly did, and check this out. Hello and welcome to my games room. Regular viewers will know how much I love the N64, and I like to spend the cosy winter evenings that are fast approaching playing games like Elmo's Letter Adventure. Now, if like me, you're getting on a bit and your hands can't really handle the old N64 controller as good as they used to, there is a solution, and I've got it to show you. It is the Brawler 64. Now there's a couple of things that I need to mention about this controller. The first thing is it's quite light, so it's not quite as heavy as the original N64 controller, and it's nowhere near like a Xbox controller or anything like that, but it's quite light, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It does feel quite good quality, and just immediately holding it in your hands it just feels so much more comfortable than the original. You've got some new features on this as well. There's a turbo button, and that works for any of these the main buttons here. So if say you're playing like a boss battle on Star Fox, you can hit the turbo button, then just hold down the button and it will fire off at rapid speeds. And if you want to turn it off, clear that button, you just press the clear button, so it's nice and easy. You'll notice that the D-pad is easy to reach there as well, and the cable is actually pretty long. I believe it's 10 foot, so that's what you want, because no one wants to be sitting this close to the telly. Now, despite the name Brawler64, it is very good for all kinds of N64 games, even Elmo. Now, originally this was a Kickstarter project that got funded very quickly. There's a whole host of different coloured controllers that you can buy now. There's some cool clear ones, a smoke grey, but I've gone for the original grey colour here. Now, the company behind this product, Retro Fighters, have previously brought out a controller for the NES that did very well. There's also a new one coming out soon that will work on both the Mega Drive or Genesis as well as the Saturn. So it's got both control ports connectors on the end. That's coming out soon, and that looks pretty impressive. They're also working on another controller for the Dreamcast. So we're going to give this a shot now and see what we think. Oh, what a tricky game! How funny he walks. This really did push the N64. So enough of messing about on silly kids games like Elmo's Letter Adventure. Let's play something decent. GoldenEye on the N64, of course. Now, some of the reviews of this pad say that it's not great for games like this because the controller's just too sensitive, but we're going to give it a go. Now, I am not the greatest GoldenEye player. It used to be pretty good, but let's just have a quick whiz through, see how I get on. So the Z triggers both at the top, and they're just on kind of springs, like most buttons. Just a bit weird having them up there, but soon grab a hold of that. So it is a little sensitive, so the reviewers that have mentioned that were right. He's a brave man, Mr. Bond. So yeah, so far so good. Right then, let's try out possibly my favouriteest game on the N64. Let's give this a bash. This is really why I bought this controller. Right, it's going to be weird trying to power slide, but not a great start. See what it's like. not too bad. Bit clickety, but then the original was as well. So, pretty shocking, but this pad certainly isn't.
So yes, this pad it looks really good actually, it feels nice.
It's great.
Yeah.
I'm going to be using it rather than the regular N64 from now on.
Yeah, because the actual regular N64 controller, back in the day, it just seemed to work, didn't it? It seemed the way you used to hold it and you used to play with it, it seemed to work. But once you've been using a controller like this for several years since, it just feels really awkward and weird now, doesn't it? So this is, they've done a really good job of it. So it's definitely, like I say, I think if you want to play your N64 games, that's probably the way forward.
Yeah, it's great.
Anyway, so I think another highlight of the show for you was the talks. I think you enjoyed those, and especially the Retro Unlim talk.
Yeah, certainly. And it was guest presented by Big Boy Barry, who I've met a long time ago.
So as you can see, this is the Retro Unlim panel at this year's Play Expo Blackpool, consisting of Novabug, Pete from On a Retro Tip, Top Hat Gamerman, Zypho, Scott from Scott's Gaming Asylum, and on the end of course the Gaming Muso. Now this panel was due to be hosted by TV personality Ian Lee, but due to some sort of transport problems he wasn't able to make it, so they needed a stand-in host. And our very own James, who was sat in the audience, was going to be in for a very big surprise, because the stand-in host was going to be someone he met many years ago.
I believe we can make this panel even bigger. So I would like to introduce to you all Big Boy Barry!
Thank you. Did somebody call for a host, ladies and gentlemen? Ian who? Ian who? Whenever there is a celebrity you can cancel, ladies and gentlemen, the Tubby Tat, the Tea-Time Telly, the round sound lovable man, the gaily gaming guru, the portly prince of primetime perfection, the red hot tip-top non-stop one-stop shop roller coaster ride, that is Big Boy Barry, has arrived at Play Expo. Let me hear a round of applause again, please.
Now of course many of you will remember Big Boy Barry from Games World, the Sky TV programme from back in the 90s.
Welcome to Games World. Tonight is Fight Night with Beat the Elite.
Yes! Go, welcome. Let's take this mallet and let's see which one of our videators is going to, I think, be grinding you into the dust. Wait for it. Spin the wheel. And in your own time, Dave. Big Boy Barry!
Yes! And here he is, the Mad Max of the Mega Drive, the superstar of the Super Nintendo. It can only be Big Boy Barry, friend of the stars, confidant of millions. He is the only unbeaten videator here on Games World.
Good to see you, Barry.
I'm sorry, Bob. I know it's not much like me, but I'm a bit agitated today. It's Demi Moore online too. Do you mind
After you, we'll wait.
Thanks.
So how did our James get to meet Big Boy Barry back in the 90s? Well, he actually went along to the filming of an episode of Games World. And I've dug out some footage of James here on Games World. Here he is in the centre of the screen. Little arrow there just to show you. And there he is again, just over the presenter's shoulder. Just looking on, looking excited. And again there, just underneath the bell. And it turned out that James wasn't the only person at Blackpool that had met Big Boy Barry before.
Yes! Before we actually go any further, I would actually like to point something out, seeing as if you just entered the venue.
Yeah!
Over 20 years ago, you were on a program called Games World.
I was!
You beat at a certain game a young boy called Mean Machine Dean.
Mean Machine?
Mean Machine Dean is sat over there.
You've got that injunction against you. ladies and gentlemen. Actually, they all say it was rigged, they all say it was fixed, but big boy, you've had time to practice, but big boy, the controller wasn't working. Rubbish. I beat you good, son, and I'll do it again, damn it.
And here's James meeting Big Boy Barry again after all those years.
Well, I certainly thoroughly enjoyed the Retro Unlim YouTube panel. Loads of great guys that we follow on that panel.
Yeah, it was a great talk. Like I say, I never went, but I've actually seen it because I've already been over to the Retro Unlim YouTube channel and checked out like the video of it, which they've got on their channel. So if you want to see the full Retro Unlim panel talk, then we'll leave a link to that for you in the description. So James, before we sort of finish up on this year's Play Expo Blackpool, have you got any other highlights of the show you want to mention?
Well, definitely it's bumping to viewers of the show, as well as fellow YouTubers like these two.
Here at Play Expo, I've bumped into two fellow YouTubers and we're going to interview them now. Hello. What's your name and where do you come from?
I am Dan and my channel's Retro Recollections and I come from the sunny Yorkshire.
I'm Retro Tech Ralph and I come from Sheffield. Yay! Everyone's having a great time so far. What's been your highlights so far, Ralph?
Oh, playing on the arcades last night without anybody around, just got any game you want. It was just absolutely amazing. Just with no queues, no nothing, just straight into it and just play all the old classics. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I agree with that totally. How about you, Dan?
Same really, yeah, that was the best part because obviously during the day it's nice to, well, to be fair, it was nice meeting a lot of people as well during the day. But yeah, the evening was quite nice because the sort of general public weren't there, so we were able to get on the machines that were all very busy during the day.
Brilliant. So for those of you who haven't seen these two guys' channels, Dan, what do you mainly cover on your channel?
Well, my angle is sort of, it's retro stuff, so it's 80s, 90s stuff. And it's I look at stuff that I used to play as a child, but I also cover stuff that I haven't played or missed out of because of, you know, financial reasons or whatever, you couldn't afford it at the time, or systems I never had. So it's a sort of bit of mix of both. And I also do a bit of stuff on emulation and what, you know, how we can improve things in playing what we want to play now from the past with a little bit better, you know, a bit of oomph and stuff like that, like improving the graphics and things like that, and sound and everything.
Brilliant. If people want to check you out, what's the full name and easy to find you on YouTube method?
It's just Retro Recollections, pretty easy. That should flag me up somewhere.
Brilliant. And Ralph?
Yes.
So what do you mainly cover on your channel?
Mainly, I like to try and do a lot of teardowns of old computers and repair old systems like your Spectrums and maybe Ataris and Amigas, but I've got a sideline. I'm doing a lot of sci-fi stuff with the Star Trek and also days out, trips out. I just like to try and showcase certain places that people wouldn't really see on a day out, like castles or even cruises and stuff like that. Anything and everything, to be honest, but mainly my passion is repairing old computers and making them better for the future so you can play them over and over again, just keeping the old systems alive.
Brilliant. And your channel, of course, is?
Retro Tech Ralph.
Brilliant. Check these two guys out.
Well, that was Retro Tech Ralph and Dan from Retro Recollections. Both great channels. Do go and check them out on YouTube. Now, Colin, I know how much you love the Commodore 64. I bumped into a guy that is all about the Sid Chip music.
Hi, I'm here with Max Hall, and if you like your Sid Chip music, check out Max.
Indeed, yes, I do the Chip Sid Show on Radio Free Matlock, playing the best in Commodore 64 chip music, playing all the best stuff, all the new stuff, all the scene stuff, and some golden oldies as well.
This is Radio Free Matlock, broadcasting from the cultural heart of Derbyshire.
Good evening, welcome to the October edition of the Chip Sid Show here on Radio Free Matlock, playing you the best music from the rear end of the Commodore 64 home computer.
You can find our page on Facebook, Chip Sid Show, and you can also find us on Mixcloud. You can stream from there, and you can download all the stuff off the Chip Sid Show Facebook page as well.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Max.
You are most welcome.
You're right there, James. That's something that's definitely right on my street, and I'm going to be checking that out. Now, for all this talk of retro gaming events makes you want to get yourself along to one, here's a roundup of this month's coming events in What's On. First up this month we have Ramfest. Ramfest is a new mini festival in Derby celebrating computer and video gaming culture here in the UK. It's taking place over the weekend of the 2nd and 3rd of November, doors opening at 10 AM to 5 PM on both days. For further information on this one we will leave a link in the video description.
If, like me, you like a good market and like gaming, well, this is the place for you. The London Gaming Market is back on Sunday the 3rd of November at the usual venue, the Royal National Hotel, smack bang in the middle of London. For more information and to get your early bird tickets, visit londongamingmarket.com.
Now if you fancy a retro gaming evening, you want to get yourself down to the Cottenham Community Centre on Saturday the 9th of November. The doors open at 6 and there's going to be a bar, DJ, retro gaming, snacks and a VR competition. Now this is a fundraising event for the Cottenham Community Centre in association with the Centre of Computing History. To attend this event you must be over 21 and it is a ticketed event, so to get more information on this one also check out the links in the description.
And finally, our last event is Gaming Retribution. This is a completely free event with loads of retro consoles and games to play. It's being held at the Railway Inn, which is located in Portslade, West Sussex. Check out the link in the description for more information. Well, that brings us to the end of another Retro Gamer Show. As always, thank you so much for watching.
Yes, and a big thank you to all our new subscribers and to all of you that continues to support the channel and the Retro Gamer Show. And also a big thank you needs to go to you, James, for managing to get all that great footage from this year's Play Expo Blackpool. If you commented on last month's show, then you should see your name going across the bottom of the screen now as well, so thanks for that. But until next time, James, as always, what have they got to do?
Keep it retro.